I get passionate about families just because I have a family of my own. But I think my heart gets really soft when it comes to the seniors. Because when it comes to affordable housing and seniors, a lot of these people, they don't have pensions. Or, you know, I've had, you know, my dad had a pension through a labor union, and it was taken away from him because of rules. And people are having things taken from them that it's a surprise, okay? So when it comes to senior housing, I think that this is where affordable housing has really got it right, because these people have come to a point in their life where it's probably not going to get any better for them. And they're coming to your property, and this is probably where they're going to live for the rest of their life. And so many of them are lonely. So many of them don't have a lot of family. And that, I remember spending time as a site manager. Even on my off time, I would go and I would visit with them. You know, how are things going? How are you feeling? You know, and it was interesting because these people who used to keep to themselves in their apartments and who were reserved would then start coming out, and they'd look for you. And how are you doing? I mean, I know that you don't always have a lot of time as a site manager when you have things to do, but if you take a few minutes and you talk with them, it really fed me emotionally and mentally from hearing their experiences. But just being able to spend that time, it was also good for these people because then they became more social. And we all know the benefits.
And the more social they are and the more active they are, actually the longer they live, right? So
exactly. It has that correlation with people who, you know, who are active, like you said. So I think that that's, you know, one of the things that I always felt very strongly about, you know, that I was glad that there was a place for our seniors to go who didn't have the money for regular housing, but they had, and these people took pride in their homes. You know, they would plant, they would beautify the property, they would plant all sorts of things. Of course, sometimes the vegetable gardens got a little crazy, but you know, they really appreciated being there, and working with people who appreciate it, that's when it's all worth it. It's not, you know, I mean, everybody talks about the few people that, oh, you know, they know the system and they know how to work it. But the vast majority that I've seen in my experiences as a site manager and in the industry is most of them really do appreciate being able to have that home.
And there was one young lady that I actually saw based on what we were doing in the concepts of this company that I work for now. We use those concepts in this one lady, and it's based on the concept of giving and getting. You have to decide what you want to get out of life and determine what you need to give to get it. She was able to break the cycle of dependency while she was in that building. Her kids, she used to come down to our office and show her kids report cards, and they were getting stars and A's and stuff on their report cards, and she was so proud because she didn't do that herself. She didn't even graduate from high school, and she was a drug addict and all of that stuff. And then you just saw her turn that whole thing around just by giving a chance, by giving shelter. Shelter is so important. People cannot advance without the proper shelter. They will never leave the survival stage. If you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you need survival before you can ever reach self-actualization. So I saw that happen. And I saw a lot of that happen. I saw people stop using drugs. I saw people stop standing to get abused by their boyfriends or their husbands. I saw people draw the line and say, this stops now. So I get emotional about that because that's what I do. I've been a part of that, you know? That's what I do. I train people to try to do that. So I get emotional about it, and I came up here with the intent of not crying. you know. And all of a sudden I got, you know, tears coming out of my eyes, and I'm not ashamed of that, because it's something, it feels like such an accomplishment for me to be a part of that.